All right. What's going on? Welcome back to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. We're back. We're live. We're here. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about this evening. Let me get the nice things out of the way. Like, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, share this with your mom, your dad, your sister, brother, niece, nephew, grandfather, grandmother, whoever it is, the dog, the neighbor, your worst enemy, whoever it may be. We trying to put it out there. And if you got social media and you up on that and you enjoy the show even remotely, post it on there. We try to be here at least every other week, right, guys? At least every other week. I don't think we're here every week.
Let's not tell no fibs, man. Sometimes it could be a month before we
get up. I mean, I think we had kind of like that lapse because the holidays and whatnot. There wasn't really too much to talk about unless you like that drama, and we're about keeping it drama free. So anyways, guys, talking about drama free, you're here on youtube.com/drama free gaming. That's what you are tuning into if you're watching here on YouTube. And on anchor.fm, you can look up DFG podcast. That's DFG podcast, and this is episode 44. Let me throw this softball at Henyo tonight. Number 44 on the Yankees. Who is that?
Oh, my man, Reggie Jackson. And it's funny you just say that because I actually just got him on my conquest mission. So actually, my level, like you level up, like you normally go like 100, and then you go to bronze 100, you go to silver 100, you go to gold 100, you become platinum, and these are levels of you as a player in the game. Oh man, yeah, Xbox users are in for a treat. Anyway, right. That was my package. You get like a pack of baseball cards, and he was in it. Reggie Jackson, right fielder.
Nice. Well, you see that chemistry is just oozing this evening. So you guys are in for a good episode. We're gonna get into MLB The Show 21 on Xbox, but let me introduce
for all 2 hours.
I don't know if we want to talk about it. Let's see how long we can carry it. I mean, I like that. I like Henyo's bringing the excitement tonight. So
this brother's the excitement this brother is exuding right now over this game.
He's oozing. I'm excited about MLB, but Henyo's going to be the one who's going to take over, and you'll probably be in your coffin after a while, Jay. But say what's up to these people. Go ahead. Talk to these people, man.
Well,
man.
It's
going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night.
Well, you know what? Go ahead, Henyo. The show's on you, man. You're excited right now.
Man, you just stole his thunder, took his lunch money, everything. He just ain't got nothing to say.
It dude, it feels like a Thursday and it's only Tuesday. So
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
Ain't that the truth?
Tell me about it,
it's
man. From the moment I stepped out the door today to go to work, I was like, oh, I want to stay home, please. I just want to stay
yeah,
home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially here in New York. I mean, we got slammed with snow. So
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it's not like we've been out and about. But welcome to the show. Super excited to be back. And of course, yeah, MLB The Show. That's definitely a topic that I'm looking forward to talking about and sharing with Xbox Live user or Xbox users that what they got coming to them if they never. I mean, if you're a true hardcore baseball fan and you haven't played this game, you're not a baseball fan because you would have crossed over by now. So
That's a huge generalization.
yeah, but it's true. I mean, if you really do like baseball and you've been searching for a good baseball game, you definitely would have dabbled in MLB The Show. You wouldn't
Yeah.
have been wasting time with RBI baseball or some other. What is there? There is no other.
No, there
Yeah.
is no other. I agree with you 100%, Henyo. There is no other baseball simulator out there like MLB The Show, and it only gets better and better and better year after year. They keep reiterating that studio, San Diego Studios, PlayStation, first party studio developers. They've been doing it for many, many, many years, and now it is on Xbox. And I don't even have to ask you how you feel about Jay. Are you even remotely interested about
Well,
baseball 2021?
I've played MLB The Show when I owned my PlayStation way back when. I think I played it on a P3,
Hmm.
and I had a really good time with it. But I'm not really like it's a sports game. It's not on my radar like that.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
All right,
Mhm.
that's fair enough. I mean, as far as the experience of any sports game goes, you're either a casual, a filthy casual like me, or you're a fan like
Yeah.
Henyo, and
Mhm. I
you
think we got
follow
the
it.
spectrum here.
Yeah, you follow it. Writing down the
Pre-order it.
statistics. I was gonna say pre-order. I'm like, you got like a little notebook writing statistics. You know what your team is all about. You know who has how many hits, how many runs, how many
Mhm.
RBIs, all that other good stuff. I mean, it's been, to be honest, it's been even quite some time since I've actually watched a baseball game, like a real baseball game. So I'm not gonna front, but I am excited about MLB. And let's be crystal clear, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Henya so he can talk to us about the game itself. What is it that he finds appealing about it? What we should look forward to? Let's just put this out in the forefront. We're talking about MLB The Show 2021 on the Xbox. It's on PlayStation. And this is no surprise. It should be of no surprise, guys. I've seen a lot of videos out here on YouTube and some people pretending like this just came out of the blue. But I thought that MLB The Show was going to be on Xbox last year, 2020, because MLB, the license, they pretty much, approached PlayStation and said, hey, we want our game, it's our license and we want this game on more platforms. Y'all got to put it on Xbox. And PlayStation had to make a choice and say, okay, we either are going to relinquish the license, which would have been stupid. I'm glad they didn't do that. Or put the game on Xbox. So when you boot up this game on Xbox, you're going to see the PlayStation logo, pop up on your screen as well because the license is there. It's just that they have a studio. I don't know if it's San Diego Studio or another studio that's putting the game out on Xbox. So yeah, don't believe the hype. Don't think this happened overnight. This was something that was bound to happen, and it was just a matter of time. And here we are. So, Henyo, speak your piece
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, when the game starts, it's not gonna go boom, boom,
This
Right.
like
brother
first
takes me
PlayStation.
back to
No,
PlayStation
it's
1.
not going to
Oh
do
my!
that.
Exactly,
Nope.
it's not gonna go like that. I think this is gonna be a treat, to any baseball player on, especially on the Xbox. It's gonna be a ho hum for the PlayStation users. But for the Xbox users, I think this is gonna be a great treat. For the next gen users, I can't imagine what this game is gonna
Oh my
look
gosh,
like
yeah.
and be like,
Yeah.
because this game looks good. There's people that come up from behind me and go, "Is that a game?"
Mm-hmm.
Like they question, "Is that a video game?" 'Cause that's how good it looks. So, um, I can't imagine what it's gonna look like on the next series. Can't imagine what it's gonna look like on the PlayStation 5. And it's good fun. It's a year-long game. I've been playing this game since day one, and I'm still playing it. And I didn't even touch certain what you call it. I don't want to call it components, but certain parts of the game, because there are plenty to play with in this game. And any questions so far?
Yeah.
Or
How's
am I moving too fast?
No. I mean, I wanted to jump in there. You said because you've been playing it from day one, and talk to us about a couple of the features that you've seen, or personally that you like, that you've seen evolve over the franchise series.
Right. So we'll start with the basics. I mean, as a player, you as your profile player, you get, like I mentioned earlier, you kind of gain XP, and you kind of level up, and the levels are bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and I guess the ultimate be diamond, and that's like the top. You're playing every day online, and you're joining tournaments. That's the platinum player right there, the
Mm,
diamond player, to reach that level. I just recently got to gold, and I've
okay.
been playing since day one. But I do not play online gaming, right? So I think there's more XPs to be get on online gameplay.
Okay.
So there are different versions of the games that you could play. You're never gonna get bored. You could play your regular season game, so you could play, 60, I think 68 games, 100 games, 162 games. You could play a full, blown season. You could also play what's called conquest mode, and basically every other month they pull out maps for you to conquer. They'll put a couple of teams out there, and you kind of have to conquer the space, almost like Risk, right? So you're moving your team from one. You're moving your fans, should I say, from one board, one chip to the other, and you accumulate fans as you move along, as you overtake other teams. What you call it? It's like a honeycomb. It looks like a honeycomb, like in Risk, and you kind of take over that land. And the more land you take, the more fans you gain, and the more fans you get, the easier the game gets, right? Because now you got the fans on your side. So, for example, when you're first starting out your conquest, you have like 7 million fans, right? So if you go up against another team on their home turf, they might have more fans than you. They'll have like 10 or 20 fans. So you can't easily conquer that land, right? So the disadvantage to that will be you could only play it at either legend or Hall of Fame mode. You can't play it on all star or veteran or beginner. You
Mm,
understand?
okay.
But as you're overtaking land, and you move on to the next opponent that you're supposed to take over their land, you might have already 20 million fans by that point. So now it'll be the ability to play in an easier mode will be there for you.
Wow.
And as you conquer lands, you receive baseball packs, and you open up these baseball packs, and guess what's going to be inside of it? You're either going to get bronze players, gold players, and diamond players to make your team better. You customize your team as you move around. So that's
Wow.
conquest.
Right.
Wow. I didn't even.
Oh
Man, you
yeah, yeah.
talking to me, and I had no clue. I mean, it's been so long. I don't remember what the last MLB the show I played. I remember, and if I describe it to you, maybe you'll be able to tell me what it was. But I remember playing when they introduced um your character, like you had your own character and you would play scenarios. You wouldn't play it like a whole game. You would just put like into a scenario, like you had to get a hit, or drive in a run, or strike out, depending on the position that you chose. If you were a pitcher, you had to like retire the side, or give up less than 2 runs. Do you know when they
Yep.
introduced that mechanic, what that's called?
That one's been
This
around for a bit, but just a quick note on the conquest mode. You don't
Yeah.
play all 9 innings. You only play in 3 innings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you don't have to worry about grinding 9 innings
Ah,
in
okay.
conquest mode. So you'll play like 3 or 4 games. Yeah. Oh no, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
play 9 innings.
Yeah.
Um so what the gameplay that you're referring to is called RTSS. and it's
Mhm.
called Road to the Show. And if I had to make a guess, I think that one came out with Joe Mauer in '09 or something like that.
That sounds
And
right.
I'm digging in my stacks here.
He's actually, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually going through his hard copies because he has
Um,
all these games in hard copies. Correct? You got them
physical.
in physical hard copies. This is the PC guy who's digital everything else, but these games, they're collectors. That's the love of baseball, man.
Yeah, I started with Joe Mauer, I think, around also 3D they had. And this was MLB The Show 11.
Wow. Okay.
So they're going by the year. And I'm gonna take a picture of this and I'll put it up on I don't know where.
Yeah, put it up on our Discord and just throw it on there either on the DFG families or 24/7 365 gaming as well if you want to join. And if you want to join the channel, I'll throw the link up here for you guys, the Discord
yeah.
link, and that should be good to go.
You should see that.
Yeah,
Now-
if it
So,
doesn't work,
yeah,
I'll
so
post
Road-
it a little later, but that's
Now,
cool. Yeah.
Hold on,
So
hold
Road
on.
Mhm.
Before you get, I gotta. Your excitement is killing me, so I gotta ask you a question.
Mhm.
For somebody like me, that's the game's not on my radar. I may have played it, but it's not something that I'm looking forward to. Here's your chance. Sell it to me.
They have arcade mode. It's an
Uh-oh.
8-bit version of the
He
game.
hit you over the head with arcade mode.
You could play in the 8-bit mode in which it is just like dropping a quarter and playing the game.
Wait,
Hold on.
8-bit mode? No, go ahead. Go, run with it, Jay. Please ask him the questions. Ask him what I want to ask him. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're telling me basically what you're telling me is there's a retro mode,
Yes. Well, in this version there is, and last year's version.
and you're telling me that it looks like a retro baseball game that I can like have fun with. Is it online?
Yeah, of course this game. Well, the arcade version I don't think is online. I've never really played it, because I've been more into different modes. Again, there's so many different modes in this game. It's not just one game. You're not playing just baseball. You're playing different versions of baseball at different levels and at different difficulties and stuff. So it almost looks like, if I had to say it, it almost looks like an over the head Tony La Russa. Remember Tony La Russa?
Yeah,
that was on the-
I remember that.
So it's a little bit of an overhead view, like you're sitting on top of the stadium and you're looking down. And man, maybe I'm trying to think of a different game, but it does. I mean, it's definitely arcade-ish. Like even the pixelation is true to the game.
Wow.
So it's easy. I mean, you're just swinging at a ball that's coming down the lane.
Wow.
And that's it.
Jay,
have
it's
to
so
worry
easy
about,
you
you
can
know.
play it.
Oh,
Yeah,
why? I know you can. If you do it,
you can
Wow.
do it.
Well, so
That's
go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, so yeah, I mean, arcade mode is just a quick, simple, player one, player two, I guess, and you play your game and you're out. You hit a home run and you don't, you just see the ball leave the stadium and next batter up. That's just very 8-bit version of it.
Wow.
Road to the Show, which Anton was speaking on. Again, it's just short bursts of the game. They don't drag you through 9 innings. A lot of people say baseball is boring. Jesus Christ, do I have to sit through all 9 innings?
Mm.
No, you don't. You could, in Road to the Show, you pick a position that you like, and from there they'll put you in little scenarios. You're not playing the whole game. You're basically playing half-hour games, and it's just quick. You can make a career out of it. You can play 10 years worth of your career or more, depending how well off you do.
So
It's lots of fun. I played Road to the Show.
So with that Road to the Show, you start off with one character and you could run with that character through the span of 10 years until you retire or hit the Hall of Fame or don't
you'll
make
have
it
a
or
little bit of a
whatever?
storyline.
Yeah.
You'll talk to your agent. You'll say, "Hey, I want out of this town." A little bit of a not. I wouldn't call it a big storyline, but it's just more like, I'm done here. I've won enough World Series. Could I move on to the next place? I think the hardest part is getting drafted by the team. So while you're in the minor leagues,
Mhm.
people are like, I want to be a 99, rated player, but you kind of have to work your way up to that 99 rated player by, completing challenges and pumping your stats. What they did this year was they kind of made you into the type of player that you could be.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I didn't play Road to the Show this year. I think the last time I played it was in 2018, something like that.
So your focus is
And
more to actually pick a team and play the season.
well, you kind of drafted. You don't necessarily pick your team. You're kind of drafted by a team. So you try out for a position.
Mm-hmm.
They have like tryouts at the beginning, and then depending on how you feel, how well you do your fielding or hitting or pitching, a team that needs that position, you'll get drafted by, and you'll have to work your way up through the minor league system, which isn't too bad. It's a lot of fun. And then that's another good thing. Their minor league systems really is in depth. People Xbox Live users will be very happy with what they have in the minor leagues
Mm.
system.
Wow.
And
Okay.
you work your way up until you're a champion. You could become a world champion plenty of times with different teams. You could show off your skills.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. Take it.
No. Go ahead. Because
No, no. What I was gonna say was I was referring to, like, if you go in there and you pick a team, one of the major league teams, you do have that options of doing that, of taking an actual team, maybe your favorite team, whoever that may be, and going through a season.
From my experience, it hasn't been that easy. You're drafted by a team, and then you could kind of lean toward. You could tell your agent, "Hey, I want to go play for the Yankees." But if the Yankees don't have a fill for your position,
Okay.
chances are the Yankees aren't gonna draft you or pick you or draft you because if let's just say you want to become a right fielder for the Yankees, guess who's waiting there? Aaron Judge. So
Right.
he's not going anywhere. He's a marquee player. So it'll be really tough to be a right fielder for the Yankees. So you got to be careful when you kind of create your player. You want to pick a position that that the team kind of needs.
Gotcha, gotcha. No, no, and I'm not talking about the show. I'm talking about if you just wanted to play good old fashioned, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
want to do the show mode. I just want
right.
to pick my favorite team, jump into, a 68 game season and whatnot. You can do that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
When you boot up the game, it's gonna say, "Hey, what's your favorite team?" And your splash screens will be that team. You have the color coordination of that team and pictures of that team, the players from that team kind of splashing your menu around. So, it'll be the focus of your interface. You
Nice.
can play with any team you like, but if you have a favorite team, the interface will be customized to that team. So it's
Nice.
very, very cool. Wow, man, what other game modes there are? So we mentioned arcade mode,
Mm-hmm.
we've mentioned conquest, we've mentioned road to the show. Then they have the online portion, and that's where they kind of really solidified themselves, to become, the gaming community, right? So, um, they built plenty of gameplay online for you to engage with other players. So I think this is where I'm not 100% sure as far as crossplay goes. I have to read up on that, but this is where everyone's gonna go to play and to level up and to get, that baseball pack that gives you better players, so you could bring into your what's called Diamond Dynasty mode,
Okay.
right? That's almost like it's the build your own team mode, right? So you could develop team based on baseball cards that you receive from completing challenges, whether it's your favorite team challenges or just overall challenges that they present to you. They'll keep you busy throughout the year with different challenges, so you're never going to be going, I don't have nothing to do in this game.
Mm.
Those words will never come out your mouth. They will keep you busy. They will keep you grinding for the next baseball player or for something else to do. um, so a little bit more in depth about the online community. So you got your Diamond Dynasty. Within there they have challenges. So I think is I want to say either every week or every 2 weeks you could compete for real live prizes like signed baseball cards and signed uniforms and signed bats,
Mm.
in which you try to become the best at high score. And they'll set up scenarios, so they'll set up marquee challenges for you to participate in. You could participate as many times as you want. And it'll be something like Justin Verlander versus I don't know, yeah, what is like it would be something like Roger Clemens versus Derek Jeter type of scenarios,
Okay.
in which they set up like the most marquee players to face off against each other, and you kind of you have to hit the pitcher, so you're not just facing a regular Joe pitcher. You're using a good batter against a good pitcher, and you try to score most hit points. So you're trying to hit home runs, doubles, line drives, and every time you pop out or foul out, that's considered a strike, and 3 strikes and you're out. And then you look at your score and to see if you made it to the top of the chart. So in that respect, every other week you could win a real prize that gets delivered to you, if you make it to the top there. So that's no easy feat, but it's a little reward for that particular type of gameplay. It's a solo player thing. You can play it as many times as you like. You can try it as many times. Then there's obviously the online season. The online season, as you progress, you get XP and you kind of, you get wins under your belt. The more wins you get these baseball packs and, or prizes or, unique items for your Diamond Dynasty team. And, again, it's a leveling up system. The more baseball packs you collect, the better your team will get. Hopefully you get diamond players, and throughout the year they're upgrading those cards to make them even better. So man, it is a lot to do in this game. And Xbox Live users, I keep calling it Xbox Live. Xbox users are gonna rejoice, and it is gonna breathe some fresh air into that console for this sporting event.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. The game, from when I last played it to how you're explaining it now, and again, I haven't touched an MLB game. I think you said the last one there where I described it to you was probably 09 or 11.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
I remember
somewhere in
you
that realm.
waving. I remember you waving a game to me, and I got it right here in my hand. It was MLB the 07. Or was it 05? I want to say it was 05. Anyway, you were waving a game to me, and you were going, "Yo, this is the game that you need to be playing." And I specifically remember, and I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't think I can play it I don't like that type of gaming." And you kept waving the show at me, and I'm like, "I don't know." And I
It
sat
was
down
05.
and
It was
05.
05.
It was 05.
Yeah.
And now from there, I took off. It became an addiction to play every year.
That's awesome. Let me say this for anybody out there: if you're on the Xbox platform and you have been waiting for a baseball game, a real baseball game, or maybe like me, you knew about the show back in the day and you said, you know what, Xbox is never gonna get an Xbox, a baseball game. Excuse me. I'm just gonna go get a PlayStation and play MLB The Show. Now
That's what
that
I
it's
did.
on Xbox, let me just say this. I'm not a baseball fanatic. I don't follow stats, I don't follow teams. Back in the day, the 86 Mets. Um I was there, okay? I mean, on the TV, of course, but it was exciting to me growing up. And what I want to say is support this game, support MLB The Show on Xbox. If you're on Xbox, pick the game up. You're going to have a fun time with it. As Henyo's describing here, it's not just your typical 9-inning baseball game. There's a lot of modes. There's going to be something here for you. And just for the sake of supporting the game, I think it's important that we send a message and say, hey, you know what? This was a great move. You guys made the right choice in putting baseball on the Xbox, because we want other games to be cross-platform. From Xbox to PlayStation, from PlayStation to Xbox, and I think that this is a good start, man. We shouldn't shun any game just because it's coming from a different platform or whatever, because then these games will go away. And for the people who do want the game and will enjoy this game, they're not going to have it and they're going to go to another platform to play it when they rather be on the platform that they rather be. Like, I'm excited. I'm going to buy this game, okay? Just for the fact, on the merit that it's here. For the first time on Xbox, I want to support it. I want to support the developers, and I know it's gonna be an amazing baseball game. So
Mm,
I'm just putting that out there. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. And again, even if I don't get in depth and play the game like that, I do want to purchase the game on the merit that it's here, and I'm really excited about it. I want to be supportive of this game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it should be fun. It could be a pickup game. You're not married to it. You could play a 1, 2, 3 inning type of gameplay. You could just meet up with friends and play a quick game if you want. You're not bound to the game. You could go, like I said, I've been trying out different versions of the gameplays. So this year just so happens to be Conquest, and I kind of was following that track of Conquest,
I,
and gaining players through that. But in the past other games, I've played different versions of it. The RTTS, which is Road to the Show, which is your self character.
I tell you, one of the things that I've enjoyed the most about the show and baseball, but about the show is the stadiums, the
Yes,
locales. It's just for me, it's just great to say, okay, where are we gonna play today? And
yes,
go to that stadium and how it's captured in this game. And like I think you mentioned at the top of the podcast here, how is this game going to look and perform on these next gen consoles? I mean, I'm assuming 60 frames per second, 4K. It's just gonna be great, man. It's
I'm
gonna be a
I-
great time.
I'm gonna say something to the depth of this game, graphically. Okay, I'm not even talking about gameplay. Last was it last year or the beginning of the season? They have like video, like what we're having now, podcast, but like
Right.
video versions of it on Twitch. And the developers kind of talk about the game before it's released, and they start showing you the game ahead of time.
Mm.
So last year they were talking about how the stadiums are and the layout and stuff like that, and they did this one thing that just was like, okay, this is the game. They they draw so much intricacy into the stadium that you could see the menus of the food courts.
What?
They could show you a picture inside one of the booths where you go, like the VIP section,
Wow.
and you could zoom in into that booth and see a picture on the wall, a clear picture.
Okay, that's
So exactly, that's what I said.
That's
And
dope, man.
I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, who the hell is going to look back there? And it was just the level of detail that they put into these games. And that right there, just I was like, I don't know, what do you say when you're married to a game that you're just like, well, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I
you
mean
know,
those touches, those little attention
right?
to detail, the ambiance. Because for me, baseball, again, I'm just talking about being a casual. Baseball for me has always been about the ambiance. You go to the game to sit around, to look at the scenery, to take
Mhm.
it in these different stadiums, what each one has to offer. um it's just amazing to see those little details like that. And not to mention, we're talking about graphics now alone, but I wonder what this next gen console is going to do with the sound, the Dolby Atmos, Dolby Surround.
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
how
It's
is
gonna.
it now? Can you talk to that? How is it now? Like, do you hear the
It's
crowd like get loud? Talk to me about
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely. I mean, you could feel the crowd. The crowd is alive. I mean, you see food in their hand, and I'm talking about
Nice.
pretzels and stuff like that. But the ambiance. So what they did was, they obviously, if your team is winning, the stadium will stay packed,
Mm.
right? Depending, the team you're playing against. So now, if you're winning, whatever, the stadium remains packed, and on the ninth inning, it still looks, fully crowded.
Mm.
But if your team, if you're a visiting team and you're shellacking that team, you see by the eighth inning, by the seventh inning, if you're beating them really good by more than 5 runs or
Seven
six
inning
runs,
stretch.
the stadium starts to thin out, and it's
Wow.
noticeable. The
Wow.
stadium is quieter. Like you could kind of hear people. Like they have like
Yes.
what they called it's like audio drops, right? So
Right, right. The
basically, you'll hear somebody
decibels.
go, "Come on, swing already,"
Yeah.
that type of audio. Versus the normal ambiance of the crowd. But if your team is getting really beat up, you could almost hear the pin silence. You could hear the ball
Wow.
hit the bat a little bit better.
Mm.
And the stadium actually thins out, which kind of lends to the fact that your team is getting beat really well. Um, I think another thing that they did really well, the sound, obviously goes with the ambiance. The stadium sounds good, but you could also import your own music into the game.
Oh,
So
okay.
this was something that I've always played with, and I always look forward to every year. So the community has created what's known as bat batter up ditties. So basically, the music that you hear when a batter walks up,
Mm-hmm.
to bat up,
Mm-hmm.
the community creates these 5 second to 10 second sound bites of that person's music, and you could download it and then you could import it into the PlayStation and then import
What?
it into the game.
No, you
And
wait. You gotta put me onto that. I got to have that.
dude,
That's
it's
a
a labor
must.
of love. It's a labor of love. Not everybody does it. I do it. I like when you hit a home run in Yankee Stadium, you
Yeah.
kind of hear the oops, there it is. Poof,
Uh-huh.
oops, there. I import that sound into that. So whenever the Yankees hit a home run, that's their default sound. And
Oh,
every player, you could put music to every player. Mariano's entrance music you could import, or you could import. For the most part, they do a pretty good job of putting the genre to the player. So
Okay.
country music for white boys, rap for and
man,
hip
don't get
hop.
canceled now. Don't get canceled.
It's true. It's true. They really coin up
What?
the players. If it's like what's this guy's name? I want to say his name. Oh man, not about Carlos Baega. Um, if it's a Spanish player, you kind of hear a Latin beat to it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So they really stick the genre, not stereotypical, but that's what the player listens to when he
Right.
comes up to
Right.
bat
Well,
or
that's
when
what you're
he's
getting when you go into when we used to go to the stadiums, go to the game and stuff, that you hear all that.
Yep, absolutely. And down to the inning, you could insert music between the innings, which is really cool. So if you ever go to Yankee Stadium, you know that on the eighth inning they do what's called 80s in the eighth. So they'll
Mm,
play a song from the 80s on the eighth inning. So with
that's
that,
dope.
I could import like a Blondie song or
That's dope.
Tainted Love, something from the 80s, imported into the game, and then on the eighth inning, when the eighth inning loads up, I could play that song between innings.
Wow.
And that gives it a little bit more level of immersion because it's actual music that relate to and you could associate to the team.
Jay, be honest with me, man. That's dope, man. That's appealing. I mean, just that's worth the price of admission just to be able to get the ambiance to know.
Yeah,
I mean, are you hearing like the vendors saying hot dogs, peanuts,
yeah,
beer? I mean,
yeah.
are you hearing that?
You have the capability. Yeah, you have the capability of like recording yourself and importing that soundbite and making it what's called a cheer or a jeer. So you could actually,
What?
record yourself, make it an MP3 or MP4, import it, and then they have options to say, okay, what should give me 3 cheers
Mm,
and give me 3 jeers, and that way, if a certain play happens, you could, that audio triggers and you kind of hear it in the background. So not only do you hear the crowd cheering, you could also hear yourself going, "You bum," or "Good strike out, you dirty bum," whatever you want.
yeah,
You
yeah,
could,
yeah.
or I could put Frank Sinatra's New York, New York at the end of the Yankees game, that type of stuff.
Wow.
So
Wow.
there's one more tidbit. There's one more tidbit. Oh yeah, the audio could come out from the controller. So gives it a little bit. So you're listening to the game on your speakers, right? But from the controller, you could get like a special audio, that one player going, "Come on, you could do it," or "Strike out, you bum." Oh, I felt that. I felt that the air from up
Felt the
here. You know,
draft.
yeah, I felt that draft. When you strike out, but you hear it from the controller, so it's got definitely a different audio. What you call it, direction, right? So
Mm,
you're hearing your speakers and surround sound, and everything sounds as atmospheric. But then out of nowhere, from your joystick, you hear a voice, which kind of like, okay,
that's nuts.
that's Yeah. That's like immersion.
Wow.
That's that kind of. And I remember the first time I was like, where is that coming from? And I'm like looking for it, and it was. If you look at your
It was in your
PS4
controller.
controller, you have a little speaker in there.
That's gonna be even more so uh utilized, and I was gonna say amazing actually with the PS5 controller. As much as Sony has
Mm.
invested in that technology, and I'm actually one of those proponents that I'm thinking, man, I hope it's not, a gimmick that they're only gonna use for one or two games and they're gonna drop it. Like, I want them to use that controller to the fullest extent, and just evolve it. But I could see that, like, you're playing and you have it like in your hand, and you swing and you hear clap, and
Yeah,
that sound just, it's like right in
you
front of
feel
you,
it.
and you feel the contact, like you hear it, your controller rumbles, and it's just like, oh, this is just dope. This is the
That should
immersion.
feel really good. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
That's immersion. That's immersion.
Wow. That's,
Super. I didn't
yeah.
even touch up on the weather and the time of days.
Yeah,
So
I mean, hey, I don't know, Jay. You still with us here? You still here, brother? You're gonna get your piece, but this is
No. I'm here. I'm absorbing it all.
okay. Okay. I
so
mean, I
so
thought he
just
muted himself and was like clickety clacketing on some controller or something. So, which is all good. You can do that. So,
we'll be rounding this up soon.
nah. But
Just to
go
end it
ahead.
all.
Talk about the weather.
No.
Do you
The
have
weather.
games that are rained out?
Yeah. Well, so obviously, I mean, why play a rain out game if the game's gonna end? But
Right.
let me step back a little bit.
Okay.
The weather and the time of year. So the sun setting in April is gonna be different from the sun setting in October.
Look at this guy, man. I just
Okay,
feel like you
literally.
should have somebody playing a harp behind you or something at this for this moment. Just
But
Yeah, that's what they do.
The
like
ML team,
Zen.
man, you are hyping these cats up.
Yo, for real. For real.
That's what this is in the game. This is not something I'm lying about. This is all for real. This is stuff that they talk about during the developers meetings, and it's for real. Will it happen on the Xbox? Will it happen every year? I don't know. That's for them to, they kind of, one thing with San Diego is what I notice is they don't try to overdo things, right? So what they do is they're gonna put out a product and it's gonna be a solid product, and then from there they're gonna build on it.
Mm,
Okay, so I don't know exactly what they're gonna do on the Xbox Live side. I keep calling it Xbox Live. Then what they're gonna do on Xbox, but they're gonna give you a solid product. People are gonna be very happy. Now, everybody always complains about the timing of online hitting. It's always an issue. It's the
mhm.
same with basketball. It's the same with football. Um, it kind of works in the baseball realm as well. They've always admitted there's plenty to work to do on the online timing.
Mhm.
You can't, if you have lag, you have lag.
Yeah, you're talking
There's
about,
nothing.
I was gonna say that you're talking about the lag and the latency because of your
Yeah,
connection and other factors that you got to take into consideration if you're
absolutely.
online. Yeah.
Absolutely, and they talk about it. They're always adding more servers to provide more, less latency, more rooms for people to play in. So, like, one region of your state won't get too much, too many people, to kind of hog up all the bandwidth.
Mm.
So, there's always online, that moment that people are going to complain about. That's probably the one big thing that they'll probably complain about. Outside of that, I really don't see them complaining too much about it. I don't know how many components of the game they're gonna put out for the initial release on the Xbox. Um, it's gonna be a little bit more business as usual on the PlayStation, which is probably why I will continue to play it on the PlayStation. I just don't know what they're gonna provide on the Xbox side. So they might just say, okay, you know what, let's just give them obviously you're gonna have your road to the show, you're gonna have online gameplay, you're gonna have your single player, but I don't know how much detail are they gonna go into it. I don't know if they're just gonna give you base products the same on both sides. I don't think one's gonna favor the other. I think they're gonna play even on both sides. But the one thing that I've noticed with this developers is they make sure they provide a polished product. So you're not, obviously their patches, they get patches too, they get updates too. Um, and they're gonna give you a good product. They're gonna try their best to put something on the table that's gonna be playable, enjoyable, and you're gonna enjoy it. That's gonna be their number one. With that said, if it feels like they're not gonna try to push too much out the door just to make it onto a new console.
Mm. Wow.
So
I got a question for you, and it just comes to mind something you said much earlier. You were talking about these packs that you get by playing, and you get, I guess, different perks and stuff like that. But uh microtransactions, are there any in this game?
yes, so there's stubs, right? And with those stubs, you could obviously buy baseball cards, or packs. And throughout the year, they'll throw sales. You could buy. Let me see. I think they sell them in like packs at like $20, $50, $100, something like that. And you could buy these baseball card packs, and you could get, the chance of a diamond player are very rare. So you're basically gonna get generic players, but you don't need to buy the stubs online. Yes, you have the option to, but you don't have to, because there is so much gameplay that allows you to collect stubs. So even by playing and completing certain missions, by playing certain uh, games within the games, you get XP, which translates to stubs also. And from those stubs, you could buy these packs, and the cards that you receive, you could resell. So their marketplace is very robust for you to resell everything that you spent money on. So even if you get a duplicate, a triplicate, or quadruplicate card, which you will have, you could sell it back on the market. And there's and because the baseball cards are so intricate is so built into the gameplay, that your items are gonna sell, so you're gonna make money. So relying on having to buy stubs is not necessary.
Okay.
I've gone a whole year without. Well, actually, I don't think I've ever spent money on stubs. The only time I do drop it is with the pre-order, right? Because
Okay.
at this point in my career,
Hmm.
I'm buying the full blown gold edition.
Right.
The steel case with the pre-order,
Yeah.
and the hat in the mail, and
Right.
tin foils and all this other crap. So, and it comes with extra stubs and whatever, and you buy your baseball cards, you keep what you want, and sell what you rest on the marketplace.
Mm.
Likewise, if there's a specific player or card that you want on the marketplace, you could go in and place a bid for it. You might get outbid. And if you get that card, great, you import it into your Diamond Dynasty. Even if you don't spend a nickel of stubs, right? You could still get these baseball cards through completing missions in the game. So you could get free baseball packs by completing conquests, by completing World Series, by doing the online challenges, by playing other players within the game, by playing online MLB seasons. There are so many different ways that you could get packs. You don't need to really buy any stubs to buy baseball packs. Literally, you don't.
That's good. That's good to know. So it's there, available to you in the game if you play the game, if you put some time into the game, and it's not something necessary for you to advance in the game. There's nothing like locked behind that paywall or anything that you can't get to by just playing the game.
You could you could, I mean, you can, you could buy, like, a $100 pack of stubs, which gives you like 130,000 credits.
Mm.
And you could take those 130,000 credits and buy Jacob DeGrom.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then take Jacob DeGrom and sell him for $2 million.
Okay.
For
Okay. So,
so you could do that. People, of course, have figured it out. There's
Mhm.
nothing hard about it. Buy low, sell high.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
you're buying stubs, and now you're gonna go buy some packs. It's not a guarantee that you're gonna get a really good card. There are a ton of cards out there that I have yet to receive, and it's maybe because I didn't play a certain level version of the game,
Mm.
or because I just haven't had the luck of getting that one card.
Wow.
Like I
Okay.
just said, like I just got Reggie Jackson.
Mm.
His I think it was like his 1977 Reggie Jackson card,
Number
which I immediately
44.
put it right. Number 44. So it's
Nice.
Crazy.
it's, you don't have to pay to win.
Cool. Cool. I mean, that's good to know, and I'm glad that you fleshed that out. Because again, in the times that we live in, and you hear microtransaction, you immediately go up. There it is. I don't care how good the game is. That's the gotcha, and I'm not playing. But that shouldn't be something that deters you because it is not a have to. It is
No.
a want to. If you want to, hey. And
know
if
what
you get married to the game like Henyo is married to the game, then you'll wind up what is it, buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah, you
figure
don't
that
all you
out.
have to do is play the game.
Yeah.
Play the
Cool.
game, you're gonna get your rewards. It's like that with every other game. You spend time going through the missions.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a reward at the end of killing that level boss or that one monster,
Nice.
which I missed out on.
Nice.
Wait. What game are you talking about now?
I timed that on Monster Hunter.
Well, that's a good segue because I do want to talk a bit about Monster Hunter Rise, the demo, and at the time of this recording, it's February 2nd, and
But
so
wait,
it's
we
been
still
a
have more
month.
MLB. We
What?
still have more MLB, but wait.
But wait, there's more. There's more. There's always more. When you know what, if there's one thing, when you are psyched up about a genre, a game, something that you love, there's always something more, isn't there? There's just you can just talk about it. Bless you. You can
Thank
talk
you.
about it for forever till the cows come home, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure that once the game drops, I want to be able to come back to it and see what it is that the game actually delivers. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to hopefully have one of those days where there's nobody home and I can put the game on my on my Dolby Surround and just pump it because I want to hear the crowd, I want to hear the music, I want to hear the action like I'm actually there at the game. So that's gonna be great. But let me turn it over to you, JJ. Have you spent any time with some Monster Hunter Rise? I know you and I have been on World and still enjoying that game very much. We're back in the lab, back into Monster Hunter, but Monster Hunter Rise. It's been a month now. The game is no longer online, so you can't play the demo with a friend on multiplayer. You can still play it single mode, and I think the full version of the game comes out at the end of March, March 25th, 26th.
26, I believe.
26, I believe so. But with the time that you did spend on Monster Hunter Rise, what was your impression? Just a brief.
I guess in the overall, to sum it all up, Capcom has once again beat me over the head for my money.
They took your money. They took your
they've already give me your money. Wallet's already open. Like, here, take it, please. They got me.
They got.
Is this what we're saying on the cast here? This gameplay, is that it?
Yeah, this is Monster Hunter Rise. I just switched over to it. What you was watching before we were watching the video was some gameplay for some Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on the Switch. And that's an older game that they just ported over to the Switch. But this is the demo here. And this is me playing with the hunting horn. One of the 14 weapons, if I'm not mistaken. If that's the count of weapons available to you in Monster Hunter.
It's 15.
15? Okay, 15 weapons, yeah. So, but Jay, you were saying they took your money. They got your lunch money, your mortgage money. It's already pre-ordered. They're waiting.
Nah, it ain't pre-ordered. It's just no day of it'll be getting downloaded. It ain't gonna be no.
Okay.
No if and look. There's no if. I've Monster Hunter World. I still play it. I'm married to the game, and it's been a happy marriage. We ain't had no arguments. We don't want a divorce. We happy.
Nice.
And then Monster Hunter Rise is coming out, and I'm like, you know what? Y'all just gonna keep me married to Monster Hunter. Fine, take my money.
We got Sleek in the Discord chat talking about, hey yo, someone likes MLB. Started my new PoE tune tonight, and he missed this game. Are you talking about missed this game as Monster Hunter Rise right now that you or PoE? What's PoE tune tonight? I don't have no idea what that is, but Poe tune. I don't know. He capitalized POE.
Piece of
what?
piece of ass.
No, it's POE, man. It ain't no POA. Look at this brother. We might have to dismiss him because he got MLB out of his system. Now he's hype. He's like, okay, guys, it's time for me to go.
Oh wow, that brother, you just
Got some
dropped the
energy
ball.
I got to
What I
release.
That's not what I meant. I thought he
Okay.
meant that this game is a piece of ass.
It's okay. It's all right.
All
But,
right, now.
But Jay, so you're sold on it. And I've given my impressions on it. The first time I saw Monster Hunter Rise that I booted up, again, coming from Monster Hunter World, I said, oh man, this game does not look right. It was downscaled. Didn't I say that to you, that it looked downscaled? And I was hoping, praying, wishing that it would come out on next gen, and I was upset that it was locked on the Switch. Didn't I tell you all that?
Okay, hold on. So this brother was upset, y'all. Like in the
I
beginning,
was, for real.
yeah, he was like, "Yo,
First
this
impression.
like Monster Hunter. It look all fuzzy." It did. Then next thing you know, about a day later, he's like, "Yo, I'm in love, man." She was talking to me, and Monster Hunter got in my ear, and then I started looking on the screen, and that brother was like, "I love her."
Yeah. You know what's helped me, guys. Let me throw this tidbit out here, a pro gamer tip. Now, you might not care. I do care, okay? I don't base all my games have to be graphically like high def, HDR, all that other stuff. But the aesthetics of this game, if you coming from World comes at you in a more realistic approach. If you look at the graphics of World is more grounded in realism, quote unquote. I'm using air quotes for that, okay? So when you compare it to a Monster Hunter Rise that you're seeing on the screen, or you compare it to an older Monster Hunter game, it's night and day in the aesthetics. You look at this game and you're like, this is more of that Japanese flavor, okay? Which is originally what Monster Hunter World is. It is this aesthetic, what you're seeing in Rise. And I think we're getting the best of both worlds, because we're getting a lot of comforts that we've gotten used to in World. But the game is going back to its origins. Actually, I didn't know this until just recently. Capcom has two teams, okay, that work on Monster Hunter. They got a Team A and a Team B, and that's not to say Team B is inferior. Team A is the one that puts out the games on the console. That's the one that did World and Iceborne. And Team B are the ones who have always held the production of the handheld games, okay? And hence, this is the one that's putting it out on the Switch. And again, that's not to degrade one team over another, but the more I played this game, the more I fell in love with the aesthetics and looking at the creatures, the monsters, the armor sets, the weapons. They're all different. If you put them side by side to the weapons and the armor in World, I'll go with Rise. I'll go with this aesthetic. I like this better. They look more unique. They're more colorful. They look it's just a different aesthetic, which now, like, I flipped the script, and now I'm hoping if something does come out, which it will eventually on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 next gen consoles, I hope it goes this route. I hope they don't go back to World. I hope it comes out in this Japanese style type aesthetic, but just, boost the graphics on that hardware, because it's gonna be beautiful. It definitely is. I'm playing this game right now on my computer monitor, and my computer monitor does 1440p, and it's only 32 inches. My TV's 55, and it looks amazing on this monitor. So I've been playing it and will continue playing it on my computer monitor, because for me it looks great on this size screen.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
I see a lot of bashing going on.
Yes.
I mean, how long does it take to actually kill
I am
one?
so glad you asked me. I'm so glad. So Jay and I are gonna go back and forth with you on this. But for you guys who are listening, and if you've never played Monster Hunter, Henyo has never played Monster Hunter, but he's intrigued. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this: the first thing you need to understand about Monster Hunter is that, and I mean this quite literally, it is a game that you have to, not have to, in order for you to see progress in the game, you have to play it, because as you play it, you're going to get better. Okay? It's not about you gaining XP. It's not about you gathering items to, upgrade and hit the next level. It doesn't play like that. You are literally the average dude or dudette, okay? And you're inhabiting a world where you're the visitor, okay? The monsters inhabit this world. You just happen to be in this world coexisting. And the reason why you go out, and this is just my take on it, okay, guys? It is not lore or anything. This is not factual. But the reason why you go out into this world is because you must. You live in this world and there's monsters out here. And if you're going to survive, you're going to fight some of these creatures. And I've never felt playing this game like I have a guaranteed win over any monster, okay? Because they're unpredictable. And that's the game. The game is that these monsters can kick your butt. They can whoop you. You can have, and Jay, you jump in. You can have the best armor in the game, but if you don't know your weapon, if you don't know how the creature behaves, the monster behaves, because you haven't fought the monster, it doesn't matter, because it's about your personal skill level. It's not about the level of your character. That doesn't exist in this game. What do you say to that, Jay?
Yeah, I'm with end time on that. More or less, end time, not end time. I'm sorry, I'm talking to the man now. Monster Hunter, more or less. You don't need a big brain to play the game, but you have to think.
Yes.
You legitly
right.
do. You have to think. You have to figure out where you get certain decorations from. If you want to build a certain type of armor, you need to know the monsters. That means you have to learn their weaknesses, what they're weak to. Within a week, if you really put yourself into the game and really get into it, you can have it down. But where the game thrives, where the game shines the most, is without a hint multiplayer. And I definitely recommend anybody, please play Monster Hunter. It's worth it. It's a good game.
I see this. Yeah, I see this game like as a team based game. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. Me wandering around and my initial quest. Maybe it was just too overwhelming. Like there was so much that I was like, I received a couple of amount of things when I first started up the game. I'm like, okay, I guess I got the best weapon for for what I received, and I'm going out and I'm gonna go do this.
Well,
and it just felt like,
oh, okay,
I was swinging the wrong weapon. It felt like I was not going about it that way.
When it comes to weapons, Monster Hunter actually does have play styles for people. If you want to get out there, you just want to swing, and I mean swing for the fences, and just want to attack, and I'm not gonna say brainless, but you want to keep attacking, then brother, use the twin blades. That's what they there for. You just start swinging.
Let me jump in here. And I'm a teacher, okay? And I'm a teacher, so we can start talking to you or to anybody who, again, has zero to no experience with Monster Hunter, and tell you, hey, this is the weapon that's gonna fit. This is what you got to do. This is what this system is. We can give you a list and a half of stuff to do. I want to even make it more kindergarten style, okay? Just bring it down to the basics. You have to come in here into this game understanding, and Jay hit on the head, it's a thinking game, okay? It's an RPG, but it's not an RPG in the traditional sense, again, that you're going to find some mystical armor, some badass weapon, and your character is going to go from, Joey on the corner to, some sort of great warrior. That's not, there's no end level here, because if you go on YouTube and you look up what is it? I forget now, the speed runners, okay? And again, that's a small population in this game. But you look at these speed runners who have played this game, invested in this game like you're invested into MLB. They know the intricacies, they know the ins and out of the game and whatnot, and they are precise in their battling. You look at that and you go, "Oh, dag, I'll never be able to do that." And you know what? Probably you're right because
Yeah.
you're not a speedrunner. But as far as you getting to learn the game, getting to learn the weapon, the idiosyncrasies of it, because the weapon is just as important as knowing how a creature reacts. When is a creature going to do a certain attack? When is a creature enraged? What you can anticipate. Like, you start to learn the behaviors quite literally of these monsters that you're fighting, and then you start to strategize, and you find yourself doing that without even realizing it, if that makes sense. You start doing that, and so you play the game and you get better and you get better. I think
Yeah.
I heard you say the other day, Henyo, or not too long ago, you borrowed Dark Souls from your neighbor.
Oh, good Lord.
Did you
No,
play Dark Souls?
No, I haven't played Dark Souls. I downloaded it on the
Okay.
Xbox.
So let me tell you, Dark Souls falls into the category of Monster Hunter, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. Because it is a thinking game. You will not be able to go into Dark Souls and with the mindset of, all I gotta do is level up my character, put some points into a couple of my statistics and whatnot, and I'm gonna be through this game. No, you're not. You're not. You're gonna find yourself hitting a wall real fast, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, dag, this game is too hard. I'm not playing this. It's not fun anymore." And it's because when you hit the wall's telling you, "You're missing something here, guy. You're missing something. You haven't noticed something. You haven't realized. You haven't learned something yet that you need to learn in order to overcome this challenge." And the greatest feeling that I had in Dark Souls 3, playing Dark Souls 3, which at first I hated it, bro. I hated it with a passion. I said, this game sucks. This game is impossible. I'm never playing this game. And that was at the first, it wasn't even the first boss. It was like to get into the first area. There's this like knight. I was telling Jay about this. There's this knight that you fight him, and about 2/3 down his health, he morphs into this big, like, unspeakable creature. And you're like, oh my God, this guy's gonna kick my ass. Like, you just, I don't know how many times I fought that dude, but I can't stress enough how when I finally beat him, the sense of like accomplishment, you were just like, raw, like, I'm ready. Like, because and I went back to that game after I beat that dude. I put the game down and I did not touch the game for like a year. Okay, I kid you not. I came back to it, went to that guy, and I still remembered what I did that first time. Came back to him and I beat him the first time, and I was like, okay, I learned. Like, I actually grew up. I earned my W. And that's how you feel with Monster Hunter. When you beat that monster that you're like, this is impossible. There's no way. You beat that monster, you're like, oh yeah, you flex. For real, you flex. You're just like, yes! You do a victory lap around your house. You're just psyched. You want to go upstairs, kiss your wife. You're thrilled because you accomplished something. And that's something I think that you could admire this probably. Old school gaming, that's the accomplishment that you get when you beat something, because for the whole game you only had 3 lives, you know. And unless you scored a high enough point or you found that one up somewhere hidden in the stage, you wasn't gonna get through that game. You had 3 lives and you was done, and you ain't finished. You had to start all over again. And that's an element of Monster Hunter that, yeah, you start fighting a monster. Like, I start fighting this monster here, for instance, and I don't know nothing about the monster on my first encounter. But as I fight the monster and I start picking up footprints, I start picking up pieces that maybe I broke off the monster, whatever, it starts going into your book, like an actual book that you have in the game. So when you go back to your home base, you open the book and it shows the registry of the monster, and it shows, oh, okay, this monster is weak to this. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you go and you build towards that. You know what I'm saying? That's the progression of the game. I don't want to get into any of the systems or anything, but even if you're watching this gameplay right now, guys, you see that I'm getting pounded. This is my first time playing the hunting horn on Monster Hunter Rise. My first time with this weapon. And look how this dude is just whipping his tail, whipping my ass. I felt like I was gonna die 100,000 times, but it's part of the game. It's the fun of the game is, how long can I last against this creature? Can I outwit this monster? Am I gonna get the W after maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes of gameplay? Or is he gonna like crush me? You know?
Does that just a question on the mini map there on the left? Do you get like different worlds to play in, or is that always constant?
Yeah, you get different areas where you'll hunt on the game. So this game has like 5 different biomes that they've already announced. So there'll be like this area here where you see it's kind of like the woods. It's gonna be like a lava volcanic area. There's gonna be like a frozen tundra area, some underground cavern type area. So there's different places that you'll hunt the monsters and in their habitats. And sometimes these monsters cross over from one habitat to the other. And you'll fight them in different regions, which brings another element to the game where you might start off in the woods and then you head off into the frozen tundras, and you might have to worry about, oh, now my character's going to get cold. Do I have any sort of equipment that I could drink, an item that I can drink that's going to warm up my character? And I'll say this, Henyo, one of the things that helped me to understand this game, first of all, I'm just a geek like that. I like to sit and read and learn games. So just because, I like to study, but if you're not that type of person, if you don't read, if you don't like to read, and you're just a person that's pressing XXX or AAA to like advance, you're not gonna get this game. You're not, because you have to understand the systems. Eventually, you have to learn. They're all intricate, one to another. But once you get it, you get it. It's like a light bulb, turns on, the light switches on, something clicks. And I try to help people, to be honest, with the little that I know. I try to help people to just, as they're playing the game, not, beating them over the head with all this knowledge, but as they're playing the game, kind of shepherd them and say, hey, this is what you're doing. And I'm not going to go in there and carry you, because I hate being carried myself. I'll be like, okay, let's go hunt this monster. And then I'll watch like from the corner and watch you play. And maybe step in and beat the creature up a little bit, soften them up. But you have to get that experience yourself, because there has to be that moment where it clicks for you. And you're like, yeah, I understand now what this is about. I understand how this weapon works. I understand how this creature moves. I understand how the surrounding area either helps me or hinders me. And I had to take that into consideration. I mean, there's so many factors, but once it clicks, it clicks. Yeah. That's all I can say.
I was swinging around with what felt like a a very heavy blunted object that I
Yeah.
did not know how to wield yet. So
Yeah.
I learned that really quickly, and I was like, okay, I gotta finesse my character to,
Right.
I'm more of a bit of a button masher, and it just felt like I couldn't button mash
Right.
with that particular weapon.
Yeah.
And let alone, again, I turned on the game, I downloaded every, prize that they gave me for joining the
Yes.
session, and I went to war with whatever I had.
Right.
And it was just like, all right, let's find out. And it was just a first experience. Not that I can't go back to it and continue from where I left off. So
Yeah, Jay, what is the weapon that you main again? What's your style?
So I can use or not like to use certain weapons. So like Hendio, the weapon you were talking about was the greatsword. I'm not a fan of it either. But there are certain people that will absolutely smash a monster with a greatsword.
Mm.
So it's not a bad weapon. Every weapon in this game is viable in one way or another.
Right, when used appropriately.
Yeah.
No ranged weapons, correct?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They are ranged weapons. Yeah.
Now the weapon I use the switch axe.
Mhm.
And it can be a boring weapon to use, or it can be absolutely fun. And it's the weapon I use pretty much when shit hits the fan in the game and we got to get a monster down. I'm using my switch axe. I know how to use it, and I'm very proficient with it. So, and it took a while, dude. I didn't start out this game using the switch axe. I think I started using the gun blade, or the gun lance.
The gun lance. Yeah.
Yeah, I started with the gun lance, and then I was like, okay, I don't like that weapon. And then I went to the two daggers or the twin daggers, and I was like, all right, this is cool. Then I went to the long sword. So I popped around different weapons, and I found a switch axe and was like, you know what? I'm good with it. And it's been my baby ever since.
Yep, it has. Yeah, I started off with this weapon that you guys see, only because this weapon here is a support. Well, let me back up. It's not just a support weapon, but it really is a weapon that you can use as a hunting horn, and you can use to buff yourself and your party. So those are actual like tunes that you're playing. And at the same time, you're just beating the monster over the head with your weapon there.
Okay.
But for me in World, it got intimidating, and that was my first experience. It got intimidating for me real fast, and I said, this is too complicated. I'm not gonna play it. And then I discovered the insect glaive, and it's been a wrap ever since. I will say this: Monster Hunter Rise has been, and this is just a demo. With this game, it's been the first time that I've tried all the weapons, and have enjoyed using the weapons, and have been surprised personally how versatile each weapon is. And I can understand if you're a more of a calculated, patient, picking your shot type person, then yeah, a weapon like the switch axe that Jay uses is something for you. If you like aerial combat, that's me. The glaive, it's a quick weapon. I can get in the air. I can boost myself up in the air and use those sort of attacks. If you like, there are ranged weapons like the light bow gun, the heavy bow gun, which is an actual gun. You're standing from afar, or from a certain distance, and you're loading shells into your light bow gun. And you have the light bow gun gives you mobility. You can walk around with it, shoot, roll, do all that stuff. The heavy bow gun, I think you're stationary.
Yeah, I got a bow gun. It's
Yeah. And so you have those range weapons, but each one brings a different element. You're going to give up something, as opposed to, gaining something else that you might want. So one of the things, and I'm not gonna stay too long on this because I can talk a lot about Monster Hunter, but one of the things that I realized about Monster Hunter is that they don't really explain the game, because the series has been out for so long, and there's so many people that have played this game, and they know the ins and out of this game like the back of their hand. So for new players, what you experienced, yeah, you experienced the right thing. You was overwhelmed, because you're looking at this menu, you're looking at these weapons, you're like, how the heck does this all work? Like, where do I start? What do I
Yeah,
need this for? How do I access this menu? I didn't even know how to start the game when I first played, like how to go into a hunt. That wasn't explained. I didn't know you had to go and to your handler and post a quest. And after you posted it and you invited your friends, they had to join. And then you have to hit the select button so that you can depart. I mean, it was not explained. And it was tough. It was really tough. But I
I,
enjoyed the game so much that I actually, stuck it out.
well,
And I'm
I'll
still
say.
here.
I got a question after
Yeah.
this.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
Does your weapon change as you upgrade it or add stuff to it, or does it like
Okay.
does the appearance change at all?
Okay, so to answer that question, to make a long story short, each monster you kill gives your weapon a different look. So your weapons have multiple paths it can take, so you can build multiple weapons. So if you build a switch axe, the more different monsters you kill, the more parts you'll acquire, so you can assemble another weapon that looks completely different, that has different properties.
Hmm.
Yeah, and let me even be clearer on that. It's your weapon. Yeah, you're gonna go through a weapon tree. You're gonna have certain upgrades to your weapon, and then you're gonna hit a certain level that you can't upgrade that weapon no more. But to really appreciate that, Henyo, in world, you might not notice it. I'm just letting you know the weapons don't they do change. They look different, but they don't look drastically different. You know what I'm saying? But they do level up, you might say. Um, and you'll get certain buffs, certain effects, all this other good stuff and whatnot. But that was one of my points that I was making with Monster Hunter Rise and the aesthetics of it, that in this game and in this style, your weapons, your armor, it's all gonna look different. There's a flair to this game, and it's very much a cultural thing. Whereas World was developed, I think, more for like us, here in the USA, make it look real and grounded in some realism and, not fantastical. I like the fantastical look. I like the different colors, and I like to have feathers on my armor, and I want my weapon to look like I pulled it out of a volcano. I like that for this game because it's unique. It's different. You don't have everybody running around with the same weapon, the same armor set, the same color. It's just, for me, it's boring, to be honest. So yeah. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it does. Yeah, it does have a cartoony look to it, in my taste.
Yeah.
But nothing that should take away from the gameplay. It's the meat, right?
Right.
That's the flavor of it. So yeah, definitely just got engaged, get involved into the game and play it. Yeah.
I'll say this, Henyo. If you really want to truly play the game, come on a hunt with us. Seriously. Make some time, come on a hunt. We'll sit back, and if you really need help, one of us will jump in and wipe the monster out for you. But we'll teach you.
I might just do that on my new 40-inch TV.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah. And I'm gonna put that invite out there for anyone who's listening. I'm Endtime, XENDXTIMEX, on every platform I play, on Xbox, Monster Hunter, and if you have Monster Hunter World and you need to be shepherded, there's no shame in that. I'm not gonna carry you because, again, you're not gonna learn anything. I was just telling Jay that we had a couple of our friends, a bunch of our friends, got Monster Hunter World when it came out. And what they did was they went out and they did missions with other people who literally carried them, okay, through a fight. And I don't know what they did. Maybe they stood somewhere in the corner so the monster wouldn't squash them and they reaped the rewards without learning the mechanics and the systems. So they're running around with this high level armor, high level weapon, and they suck. I mean, I let me not say that. They didn't get good. They didn't learn. But yeah, they sucked. And it's like, dude, because you didn't learn the game. And I guess they realized, I don't know if they realized, but they did more harm than good to themselves, because what good again is having this high level armor, high level weapon, and you don't know how to use it. It's like giving my keys to my vehicle to a 5-year-old, say, hey, here, go take it for a spin.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work that way. So and the last thing I'll say, if you like Monster Hunter and you get Monster Hunter, you will like, more than likely, a Souls game. You will, because it's the same premise, as far as it's a thinking game where you get in there and you realize, oh, wait a minute, there's a strategy, there's a technique, and once you get it, it clicks. You get it. Even though you might get your head bashed in, 100 times before you get past that first area. So I know.
Okay.
I learned by personal experience.
So, Henio, I'm going to tell you this. This is a quick story about Monster Hunter. It's going to happen to you. If you get into the game, it's going to happen to you. You'll be playing a game, and there'll be a monster. You'll be like, yo, that monster's cool. And that monster will take a boot, and he'll smack the shit out of you with it. And then you will legitly earn a personal beef against the monster.
Yes.
Dude, it gets personal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I felt that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
And you'll be like, yo, you'll be in the middle of a hunt, and that certain monster will show up, and you'll be like, get in here. And you start, it just gets personal, man.
Yeah.
And I felt that when my quest timed out. I totally felt that.
Yeah.
Like, wait, we're not done here.
Yep. Yeah. I always give the story of my brother, if he's listening to this after the fact, but my brother played this game and his session timed out, like, because you, depending on the quest that you pick, you might have 50 minutes, you might have 30 minutes, you might have 15 minutes, depending. They give you the quest details. Anyway, he was on one of the long hunts, and he was going at it and going at it and going at it, and then it timed out. No, it didn't time out. I think he had like 3 cards, which means he could get dropped 3 times, and that's it, game over, like 3 lives. And he played for like maybe 45 out of the 50 minutes that he had on the timer, and he carded for the 3rd time, and that man was mad. He was livid. He was like, I ain't playing this effing blah 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 game no more. I mean, the man just went off the deep. He's never touched it again. He said, nah, I can't play that game. It's not my game. It's not. And no matter how much I try to explain to him what I took the time to explain to you here now, he won't hear it. He does not want to hear it. He's convinced that the game is broke. The game is trash. Like, yeah, he don't understand that it's just that, it's not a game like we're used to. We're like, yeah, I'm going to level my character up and find the sword in the dungeon, and my character's going to be a badass by the end of the game. And let me tell you this. If you play this game long enough and you learn how to fight with your weapon, and you learn the monsters and the, whatever it is, okay? You can literally strip all your armor off and just go with like your weapon, and you'll still come out victorious. Might take you a little longer, but you can definitely go out there and just be in your beginner armor set, let's say, or in your underwear, and you'll be able to beat the creature. Because and that's when you'll understand, oh, I am the master of like XYZ weapon, because you know how to like use that weapon,
And not every weapon is easy to use, brother. Some weapons are methodical, some weapons are straight brainless, and some weapons aren't used to just getting in there. Sometimes your job isn't to just get in there. Sometimes you gotta wait. You gotta wait for your time to strike, and then you go in.
Yeah. You learn that. That's all part of the learning process. And I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that I actually learn by watching. And so if I every time I can get a shepherd to take me through, not to carry me, but to take me through and explain things as I go, then I get it. It clicks and I get it. So, and never mind the gameplay you're watching now, because again, this is one of my first experience with the longsword, and yeah, it's terrible. Don't know how to use this weapon. You see somebody who knows how to use this weapon, and you're like, oh, dad, this person looks like a samurai. I look like I'm trying to like slice up some spam or something. I don't know. It's just
I felt my timing really off. I was just like,
yes.
I swung it.
Did you feel like when you was about to hit the monster, it would move?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yup. Yeah.
That's why I felt like the weapon that I used was a little too heavy for
Right.
my play style.
Right.
You know, like I kind of wanted it. My game style would have been more hit, back out, hit, back out,
Yeah.
hit, back out, and you know, it just felt like I would swing, and by the time I kind of like, you know, what do you call it? Like, you know, came out to bat with the
Right.
with the sword. He was already gone, and I'm like mid swinging, and I'm swinging at air because he already had moved by the time I kind of lunged forward to the creature.
Yeah.
And you know, again, it was that whole move in, move out, move in, move out. So I had to literally just park myself there because the weapon took so long to kind of load up, and yeah, it's a lesson learned.
Right.
Well, see, you were using the heavy sword.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a charge weapon, so like there are ways around it. So like there's like 3 different charges. The first charge, you know, it's just kind of quick. But then if you want to get to charge 3, which is your strongest attack, you legitly have to go to charge 1, dash forward, switch to charge 2, dash forward again, switch to charge 3. And you can do all of that in a matter of seconds once you get used to it.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like you also you hold down the button to like charge it up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's again, that was something that I didn't know. I'm kind of learning it as I'm playing it. I'm like, oh, okay, so I can do this.
Yeah, and a thing for anybody who's again listening out there and you're curious about the Monster Hunter franchise and series, it's gotten so much more user friendly. But as far as explaining certain things, I think one of the best things that they did for new players is you actually, and they don't tell you this, you can actually go into your room. You get a room. Your character has a room, and you can go into the training area where you can go in and you can select any weapon and you can beat up on a dummy, you know, and it shows you like the move list and everything, and you can kind of like, you know, exercise yourself in there and say, oh, okay, I know if I hit, you know, this button 3 times and then I charge up my weapon with this is what's gonna happen, and you start getting the flow and the timing of the weapon. So that's another good thing that I like about the game. But again, it didn't tell you, hey, go into your room and practice. Like, nope. It just sometimes it just, you know, throws you off the deep end, and you just learn the hard way. But
true.
Yeah. I mean, again, we can talk about Monster Hunter until the cows come home, but let me just throw this out there. Arcade 1-Up Cabin Fever is what I wrote down on my notes, and the long and short of it, Arcade 1-Up, we spoke about it here, and we mentioned that the CES 2021 show this year, they showed off some cabinets and stuff that's coming, but would you believe, and it's Jay's fault, I went out and got an Arcade 1-Up cabinet, and I'm in love. That's
I told
I gotta
you.
say, I'm in love.
I told you. You gotta feel it.
It is a sexy thing to look at. I got the TMNT cabinet, and it's the 4-player cabinet, so I got the 4 controllers on it. But you know what I'm really excited about? I've already ordered a mod kit that I'm waiting to come this week, and I'm going to be playing all of my old school games on my arcade machine.
Y'all hear him, right? Y'all hear the voice in the AC. Yeah, slick and sexy with it.
Ah, man, it's just it's beautiful.
Look, anybody who's anybody, I'm gonna say it once, I'll say it again. Buy an Arcade 1-Up machine, especially if you're an older cat.
I would have to get rid of the treadmill.
You ain't using it anyway, so You probably get more worked out playing the video game than you will on the treadmill. So.
I'm trying to tell you, Henny, you'll think about it, you'll look at it, be like, nah, I can deal with it. I can
I
pass.
have a bald spot wall in my house and in my apartment because I live in an apartment.
Oh,
Brother,
man.
It would have to be a treadmill.
If you build that arcade one up, your life is over.
Yes, in more ways than one.
Oh, see, there you go.
Arcade One Up, if you guys don't know, check it out. That's the website, arcadeoneup.com. But the beautiful things about these machines, these cabinets, not only is it the nostalgia, the art on it is great. They're super duper easy to build. Okay, the instructions that come, I mean, take you step by step. It's illustrated, it's big print. I appreciated that. And I built mine's like Jay built his in like an hour tops. And that was me taking my time. But the exciting thing is that I discovered that you can mod these things, and there's a site called Arcade Mod Up. And they actually sell everything already in a kit, or you can get individual parts for your cabinet, and you can get it specific to the cabinet that you have. So if you don't want to change the marquee, you can keep your original artwork, or you could reskin it if you want. Everything comes pre-configured, pre-wired. I mean, you can either do the work yourself, or you can just order it already like custom built. All you literally got to do is unscrew what you got there and screw in their panel, and you're off to the races. It's like it's a done deal. And so that's what I'm waiting for. I'm keeping the TMNT marquee. To be honest, I just love it, but it's gonna come with the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System. What else does it come with? I forget. It has some other stuff. Nintendo 64. What else does it have?
Basically, he's building the ultimate
Yes.
downscaled retro machine is what he's built.
Yes. It's gonna have like, I don't know, like 6,000 games or something on it.
Jesus.
And all at your fingertips on a cabinet. It's just, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't
So
wait.
tell anybody listening right now, Arcade One Up.
Arcade One Up to get you started, because Arcade One Up, you know, if it, and it's all how deep you want to go down this rabbit hole, but Arcade One Up, solid, and every generation of machines that come out, they keep getting better and better as far as the quality of it. This TMNT one that I got is like a current generation. It's a 4-player machine. You can get a 2-player. I just saw the 1-player cabinet that they specifically like put out for, again, the retro heads like us, playing the old school games. But once you get the cabinet, there are so many things you can do with it. You can modify it. The conversion kit that I got, Henyo, check this out. I'm going to swap out, I think it's a DVI connection to this current monitor behind the Arcade One Up that it has in there. When I get this kit, it's going to convert that connection to an HDMI.
Ooh.
So you know what I can plug in there, right? I can put a PC in there.
Yeah, you can plug in a nice little mini MTX machine in there.
Exactly. Which is I already got it planned. I already got the site for that and everything. I told Jay I might have to get another cabinet just to get a PC, and I already have the site, already have the person I want to get it from, and it comes preloaded with the games. Like, I don't want to do no work, man. I just want to stick it in my cabinet and run. That's all I want to do.
Ballpark figure, man.
Look, I'm telling y'all right now, retro is the way to go.
The mod. I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
I know. Look, I know this brother.
I'm super excited. It's Jay's fault.
See, okay.
Is this stimulus money, or is this like?
Oh, yeah. This was Papa Trump. When before he left office, he decided that he was gonna give us a stimulus, And I wasn't expecting one, to be honest. If there was a way that I could have said no, don't send me nothing, I would have done that. Like, I kid you not. But out of the blue, it came, and I said, well, you know what? I got to do my American patriotic duty and put this money back into the economy. And so that's what I did. I went and got an arcade one up.
Okay, see,
my machine
hold on.
cost me. Let me just say this. My machine.
Yeah, that's what I was. That
The
was
machine
real
cost $400. The arcade
$3.99.
one up was $400, and the mod, the kit. I'm talking about light up marquee conversion kit. It comes with a Raspberry Pi 4, preloaded games, everything. The whole kit and caboodle was another $5.
Didn't your wife ask you for like half?
Yeah, she got that. She got half. Yep.
So you cut it. You just barely cut it. For
No,
what you
yeah.
wanted.
As a matter of fact, let me tell you the story. Hold on. This is a funny story because
Oh my God.
I had the stimulus came, and so I
Okay,
told
hold
her,
on,
baby, it's
hold on,
half and
stop.
half.
Stop
Go
right
ahead,
there.
go ahead.
Okay. Before he continues on, I want you guys to know this. This whole story he was about to tell, I was there. I can recount the story in
It was
real
there
time.
all the step of the way, the whole way.
So
But-
from the brother calling me going, yo, I'm
It's
thinking
on.
about it.
It's on.
And then I'm at Walmart. Okay.
It's
So
here. I'm sending them pictures.
that dude called me on the phone. What's up, man? Yo, man, I just loading it up in the Jeep now. Oh my
That's it. Yup. I was on my way to work too. That thing was with me all day long. I was just like jumping
Oh
in the
my
vehicle, stroking it, coming back out every so often to check up on it. But listen, again, I did my patriotic duty. I went and put the money back into the economy. I supported, Arcade One Up. And so got the machine. So I got the machine. That was the money, but I couldn't do the mod because I had, fatherly responsibilities that I had to do prior engagements. And so I was like, I'm not doing this mod anytime soon. There's no money for it. So I'm cool. I'm just going to do the machine. I'm good. It'll be all right. But my
got paid.
wife turned around and she saw the machine once it was built and she was like, that looks nice. That looks like a real arcade, yada, yada, yada. She's not a gamer, okay? She's not. But she looked at it and she was like, oh, that's nice. And she's like, what are you going to do with it? And I was like, well, I'm going to play it for now, but what I really want to do is mod it, right? And she's like, what's that? So I explained to her what that was. And she's like, are you telling me you can play all those games and blah, blah, blah? She knows I'm a gamer, okay? She knows that. She knows who she married and it's too late. And so
It's too late.
she said, so how much is that going to be? And I'm like, well, babe, it don't matter because I ain't got the money, I had to take care of the kids and this and that and the other and blah, blah, blah. I said, but it's cool. She was like, well, how much is it going to be? And I said, well, I think it's going to be like $5. And she just said, I kid you not, I love my wife. She said, well, if you ask me nice enough, I might just give you a loan.
Oh.
And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, but you're going to pay me back on Friday, right? Because I know you get paid and the money's there and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. You're not going to charge me no interest and you're going to let me do this? And she was like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, and this was with her half of the stimulus. So I said, bet, cool. I like, yeah. And I just went ahead,
That's cool.
ordered it, and she's getting paid on Friday, obviously. And, and for the record, people, anybody who's hearing this, I want you guys to know, I don't go crazy dropping money like that on games and whatnot. This was an opportunity, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity with money I did not anticipate.
Papa Trump.
Papa Trump. And Papa Biden looks like he wants to stimulate us. Go ahead, Papa, stimulate me some more, because I got some plans for that. But this is how I feel about it. I take care of my bills. I'm about to be 100% debt free. I'm talking about my kids' school paid off. The only payment I'm going to have is my daily living in my home and my mortgage. That's
the
it.
goal. That's
That's
the goal.
it. So
That's
for you guys listening out here, whether you young or old, I've been there, done that, and this is my time right now, and I'm just blessed that I can. But it don't mean that I'm gonna be dropping ducats on games because I have the funds. This again it was one of those opportunities where the stars aligned, and it's Jay's fault actually. And he told me about this arcade one up, and one thing led to another, and here
now
we are, man. Here we
y'all
are.
notice how everything was about to go like positive. The stars aligned, and
And it's Jay's fault.
the next thing you know, negativity came in and is blamed
Jay
me.
could have talked me out of it, and he was like, "You know what he did? That brother sent me a picture of his cabinet." And I was like, "Oh, that's sexy." And he's like, "And once you get the first one, you're gonna want another one." And I'm like, "Nah." And then as soon as I got it, I was like, "Yes, I need a 2-player cabinet now so I can mod it." So, but the
I like
mod,
that
the
mod
second mod
feature.
I'm talking about, if anybody's interested in Henyo, if you're interested, that second mod from that brother, it is a PC. It's specced out and comes preloaded. I'm talking about, it looks beautiful, and I can send you the site. I think I'm gonna post the site
Yeah, post it on the site.
Discord. But yeah, that one is gonna be, I think, like another G, or less than that. It might be like 8 something. But this one has everything, everything on it.
Jesus Christ.
So we'll see. We'll see if we go down that rabbit hole. Maybe not. I got main games now that I want to play, so I might not go down that path.
Yeah, he don't know what to do with himself, y'all.
I don't know. I'm reliving my childhood now.
Retro has knocked on his door, and that brother answered, and he ain't looking back. He is that brother sitting on the couch. His soul is gone, and it's all in retro. Thanks to yours.
I forget how much fun some of these older games. Like I was playing what was I playing? I was playing Power Drift, Galaga. I was playing 1942. I was playing 10-Yard Fight. Remember 10-Yard Fight? And I was getting hype. I was like, let's go. And then
would have done it for me.
Dude, 10-Yard Fight. You love 10-Yard Fight? Oh my god.
The 1942.
1942. Yeah, I was playing that. I was getting hype with that 10-Yard Fight. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this game. Like I remember Tecmo, but 10-Yard Fight, I was like, what is this? And I started playing it. I was like, oh, this game is dope. And it's like, it's like the most basic game out there. I was like, wait, you don't pick no formations, you don't huddle up, nothing. It's just press A or B to choose one of the guys. They give you an option to choose on defense. And on offense, it's you hike the ball when you're ready and you try to make the pass or run with it. That's all it is.
That's all you can do.
Oh man, but it was lots of fun.
Wait till you play. Oh, you do know 10-Yard Fights in Maine, right?
Yes, I seen it already.
Oh, I know you did. I know you. So y'all do know after we get done with this podcast, what this brother's gonna do?
I'm going to bed, man. I can't.
Hold on. Just listen to me, guys. And he'll do this. He'll do this. He'll be like, "Yo, I'm going to bed." And about an hour later, after going, well, I'm gonna mess with this real quick.
Yeah.
It'll be like an hour, like 1 o'clock in the morning.
That's the life of a game.
And that brother be like, "Yeah, go to bed."
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I don't go to sleep like that. So, excuse me. But yeah. Anyways, I'll post those links again, which I'm not affiliated with. None of us here are getting paid for any announcements that we making on anything, would that be MLB The Show or Arcade One Up, Arcade Mod Up, but just fun stuff. If you've made it this far in the podcast, please hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, help us out, get us to 400. I want to get to 400 subscribers. Like that's a goal. Yeah, we're like on 364, 65. We've been stuck at that number for a while.
No, we're at 368 or 69 now.
Okay, well, help us get to 400. I know you can do it. Again, share it out with anyone and everyone. And DFG Podcast on anchor.fm and anywhere else that you might listen to your favorite podcast. So I still gotta upload the last 2 episodes, the audio ones, to that anchor.fm, so you guys can listen to them on the audio. You guys who listen to audio, but we've
We
talked
have
about a lot of stuff here, guys. A lot
have we expanded on AFM radio?
on the anchor.fm.
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting guys, you need to understand that the anchor.fm, it's a great service. Like I literally uploaded there and I have to do nothing else. And they put it on Chromecast, they put it on iTunes, they put it on a bunch of other platforms. So I don't have to do any heavy lifting with that. And I don't really check statistics like that. I really don't want to, to be honest. But the times that I do when I'm uploading other episodes on anchor.fm, I see it going out to like Australia, China, South America, and it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, but it's reaching other places. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool. It's out there. So, and you guys know that I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. Help us become YouTubers here and podcasters and like that. We can retire and play video games and talk about it all day long. That's it. And you support us.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? That's the American
trust
dream.
me, we'll have more content. Sorry, I said
Yes,
comment.
yes.
Have more I am still just to give you guys an update. I am going to be ordering a computer soon, and I am going to be doing content. Hopefully I can talk this brother back into doing more tech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we'll work on all that. But first, you got to like upgrade your brick, and once you do that, then get you set up so you can do some capture. And Jay is the retro head, a lot of old school gaming. So I already got my camera set up to do some over the shoulder or maybe on the side arcade game playing. So we're gonna be doing that and posting it up here on the channel as well, so you guys can take a look at how that looks and maybe give you guys an idea of alternatives. You don't have to go, you don't have to sell your first child to have a nice setup.
That's true.
You could do it on a budget. I got this cabinet, but there's cabinets out there that are like $6,000 plus.
The brother talking about Megacade.
Yeah, and it looks nice, but I don't ever see myself doing so. Even if I had the money, to be honest, there's just other ways to do that are more economical. So
okay, don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. The Megacade,
it's beautiful.
Oh,
it's beautiful.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. Cancel me if you want to, but it is a retro head's wet dream.
It's beautiful.
Dude, I would put a pillow on that thing, sleep next to it, hug it.
Yeah. The thing, Jay, and I'm gonna say this because you brought it up. The thing about the Megacade, and I don't want to give it any negativity because I think the people that put that together are amazing and they continue to support it. I've been looking at a lot of videos, but here's my thing: that cabinet, what you really got in that cabinet, what you're paying for, is the software. You're paying for that software to have all those games. Other than that, I mean, if you really look at it, and if you want to go that route, you can build that cabinet and you can put a better TV or monitor in there. Because if that set goes out, you have to replace it. You know what I'm saying? But all you're really paying for is that software. So that's why for me, it's like practical wise, like, hey, if you got the money and you want to do it, go for it. If I had the money and it was like chump change in my pocket and I had the room, I'll do it in a heartbeat. But for like us normal folks who ain't got it like that, I got to do an arcade one up and I got to do it like within my means because, but you can still get the same experience with it. So I don't know. I don't even know if I want to touch any other subject this evening. How you guys feeling about that?
Before we go, I got to ask everybody a question, since we are we are about to bring the show to a nice little close. Henyo,
Yep.
name your favorite retro system and game.
The retro system in game.
Yeah.
That would be the Star Wars trilogy one. The ones which you're in the X-wing and you're kind of flying around.
Oh,
The Death Star. That would be the one.
you would actually get that on Arcade 1-Up.
Absolutely. That one's nice. That was
Yeah,
that has the controller that goes up and down and left and right.
Now, what about you, Win Time?
Man, I'm like rediscovering my childhood now. And there's just so many games out here that I didn't play, but I saw in the arcade. You know, I didn't have that upbringing where my parents could put X amount of dollar of quarters inside my pocket so I can go play in the arcade. I saw a lot of these games. And I'm talking about from all genres. I'm talking about WrestleFest, Mortal Kombat, the original. I mentioned 10-yard fight, double dribble.
Oh my God, this brother taking it back. Good
Yeah,
Lord.
there's games that I'm looking through like this catalog of games now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I played that. Like I didn't remember the name, but once I started playing Galaga, R-Type, I mean the list goes on and on and on. I don't know. I can't tell you that I have a favorite game for a system. Maybe if I went like specific on something, I really enjoyed the Dreamcast. The Sega Dreamcast for me was one of those systems that it blew me away. First of all, like honestly, like when I got a Dreamcast, for me that was the first experience with a system that I thought, oh my gosh, the graphics are not gonna get any better than this. And my favorite game on the Dreamcast had to be Ready to Rumble. I played that game so much. But I'm not saying that the Sega Dreamcast was my favorite, nor Ready to Rumble was my favorite game. But for that system, yeah, Ready to Rumble was one of the top games for me. For Nintendo, Bad Dudes. You remember Bad Dudes?
I do.
Oh my gosh, I love Bad Dudes. I loved Russian Attack.
Can you name the company that did Bad Dudes?
The company that Data East.
There you go. See, that's
Data East.
retro knowledge right there, ladies.
Yeah. I mean, some of those things are like impressed into my brain. So yeah.
So on the chat, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
That's dark.
Yeah, we got somebody in the chat. KM says what? Dark Dad is not in the coffin? Yeah.
Really?
Conversation.
Hold on. So why y'all picking on me? I'm not in the coffin. There must be somebody I know.
Yeah, it's probably Kyle. I think it's Kyle. I'm going under KM. I don't know what the M is for, but probably Kyle. Kyle's one of the gamers that when you're going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning, he's popping up like, hey guys, anybody playing?
My brother up howling at the moons.
2 in the morning, he's like, yeah, it's Kyle. It's Kyle, all right. Kyle Sheely.
Yeah.
DBM.
Don't drop him out like that, man. It's all good.
Well, we could have talked about a bunch of other stuff, guys, but I think I'm gonna close it at that because the other news is really older news. It's really depressing, senseless news. And I'm not even gonna bring it up, to be honest with you, because I just want to keep it drama free. But if you guys ain't got nothing else to say, I'm gonna wrap it up for this evening. We're going on 2 hours, but it's been a good 2 hours. Henyo, let me say this, and I'm gonna speak my piece and then throw it over at you guys, and you can bring it home. Thank you for bringing that excitement and that knowledge of about MLB. I'm definitely even more so now because of your enthusiasm. I'm definitely gonna like buy that game and be playing it. And if I had a PS5, I'm gonna be honest, I would have probably played on the PS5 after you had that conversation here. Cause that control, and if they use that feature, that I think that's gonna be really, really fun. But yeah. But let me leave it to you guys. Bring us home.
Uh, you know, I can't wait till you share those screens out, those videos of what that game looks like on a new gen. I unfortunately have to wait till they become more readily available.
Mm.
So look forward to that. And what Papa Trump bought me was my little flight sim stick here.
There you
So
go.
I landed more into immersion. So I'm now in Miami International, and I'll be taking off shortly to head down to the Keys, and from the Keys I will be going to Cuba.
Look at that. It's nice down here. Well, it's cold right now for Florida standards, so
Florida, it reaches
yeah.
43 degrees.
Yep. Time for the Timberlands and triple fat goose and
Dude,
no boots.
I'm just gonna say this right here. They in the building how they start shoveling the snow for the path.
Yep.
The guys gave up halfway.
Wow.
So it's like there's a empty path and then like a foot of snow that you have to step on to get on to continue walking.
That's nuts. That's nuts. I haven't seen that much snow in a minute, nor do I miss it.
All right. Well, thanks for the entertaining conversation tonight. Look forward to the next one, and keep in order to go to the next level. What do? We take it to the next level, yo.
To the next level. That's right.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I guess this one putting on me, but I'm not gonna end it the old way this year. I'm gonna say this. Look, I've said it once and I said it again. Y'all need to listen to me. Arcade one-up retro games are the way to go. Because you can never ever live without knowing your history or your past. Retro is gaming's past and history. Live it, love it, play it. It's time to go to bed because my pillow calling me.
Yeah, I can hear it in his voice. He's talking a little cranky when he gets sleepy too. He's like, I'll go to bed.
Let's do this, brother, picking on me already. Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Be good, do good, and as always, keep your life and your gaming drama-free, people. Later.
Later.